let's talk for 1 second about Jeffrey Toobin. So the High Court is taking arguments on this other case. So that's the New York case. It's ongoing. They're in a recess right now because they just started like 2 minutes ago, so they already need a recess. This is like when you get contractors to work on your lawn. So they're over at the Supreme Court, though, they're dealing with a second Trump prosecution. This isn't really about Trump, but as you guys and I have discussed, this other case involving J6 defendants could directly affect the J6 case against Trump, brought by Jack Smith with Tanya Chutkan as the judge. Anyway, the question is whether the main charge against Trump, although again, this one relates only to J6 defendants other than Trump, is a viable charge. It's called obstruction of an official proceeding. And more than 300 J6 defendants have been charged with this, and many have pleaded guilty or been found guilty, and all of those could go away if the Supreme Court says, this is not a charge you can bring against J6 defendants, protesters. It's not available to you. And I'm going to get to the heart of that argument in 1 second, but let me just start with Jeffrey Toobin, okay? Because he felt the need to weigh in. And there was a time in which he was considered and treated as an expert on the U.S. Supreme Court. That time has passed. He tweeted out, in oral argument today, Justice Thomas is minimizing the severity of the 1/6 insurrection at the Capitol. Perhaps that's because his wife was part of the conspiracy. What a disgrace that he's sitting on this case. In response to which I tweeted, hi, Toobin, FYI, you waived your right to use the term disgraced about other lawyers when you took your dick out of your pants and jerked off in front of your colleagues. Just saying.
You know, I've heard that the problem with subtlety is that sometimes people don't get it. You've thrown that out and put a fine point, Jeffrey Toobin. I also don't think he should be talking about oral anything at any time. There's a wide range of issues that he should be entirely separated from, and including being on our television set, because Lord knows what could happen with that.
How can you think about it though, guys? You know chutzpah. You guys know chutzpah. This guy is sitting there as a lawyer calling a sitting Supreme Court justice a disgrace after what he did. Just take a seat. Write your long New Yorker articles or whatever it is you're going to do. I don't know. I guess he was fired from there because those are the colleagues to whom he showed his penis. And I don't want to look at it. I don't want to see it on Twitter. I don't want to hear from him.
There's a shamelessness to it, really, Megyn. And what I can't possibly understand is I feel like there's a lot of legal commentary in the United States. You're telling me CNN can't find somebody else? Like this guy. This is the only guy in America who can, have commentary on the Supreme Court or our legal process.
Michael,
just find literally anyone else.
I got news for you, Michael Duncan, okay? It's not just CNN. Guess whose podcast he was on yesterday?
Oh, please.
Who?
Don Lemon.
Oh my God. Come on. Come on.
They're getting the band back together.
Up.
They've like broken the simulation at this point. I mean, it's just one hilarious joke after another. That Don Lemon and Toobin getting together for a high-level discussion.
I mean, they had Keith Olbermann.
I'm sure they were talking about how aggrieved they are, how mean CNN is, how terrible they were to them. It's so unjust, both firings.
This is Don Lemon who had a burner phone to send intimidating messages to a coworker because he was jealous of her, right?
Correct.
And then he has the chronic masturbator on his podcast, and they're going to lecture all of us about the legal system and who's disgraced. This is just incredible how these people have no sense of shame.
Is Duncan being fair? Is chronic, is that appropriate? Do we know that about Toobin?
I don't think you do
during
it for
the meeting.
I don't think you do it for the first time on Zoom.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Look, this is conjecture. This is conjecture, and I know the man is a lawyer, and so I just want to make that extremely clear. I don't have any knowledge of whether he's a chronic masturbator. I would merely suggest the idea that you cannot contain yourself. It's an opinion. My opinion is if you cannot contain yourself on a Zoom with colleagues, you might have a problem.
Perhaps there's a habitual nature to
that's what I'm saying.
Act.
Yeah, there might be.
That's my opinion.
My favorite theory of that whole thing came from Victor Davis Hanson, of all people, right? But he's so distinguished and so smart and at the Stanford. Anyway, his theory was that people don't do that by accident and that actually, this may very well have been intentional. Like maybe he was enjoying getting off in front of his colleagues, like, whoopsie, I forgot to hit the end button. I like it.
That brings it to a whole new level.
Yeah.
It's just horrifying.
And then you're just like, oh, I forgot to hit the button. Either way, who the hell be jerking off that close to a live Zoom meeting? You deserve the consequences of your terrible decision making. Anyway, now he's decided to rip on a distinguished, respected, beloved Supreme Court justice who gets bashed by him as a disgrace because what? He's an Uncle Tom, because he's married to Ginny Thomas, who's got a political career. Okay, Jeffrey Toobin, it's done. What he's really lecturing him on is ethics. I mean, truly, he's lecturing Clarence Thomas on ethics. Does he have his dick in or out of his pants while he's doing it? That's what we need to know first. Is it in or out? Do you think better when it's out and you're exhibiting? I'm sorry. I know it's R-rated. Forgive me, audience, but just the audacity of this guy.
I don't even know how are we supposed to respond.
Well, this is the point in the program when Megyn goes down these rabbit holes where you just got to say, what else can be said?
Let me tell you a story about a guy named Leo Grillo. Leo was on a road trip and came across a Doberman. This dog was severely underweight and clearly in trouble. Leo rescued the dog and named him Delta. Sadly, Delta was just one of many animals that needed help. And this inspired Leo to start Delta Rescue, the largest no-kill, care-for-life animal sanctuary in the world. They've rescued thousands of dogs, cats, horses too, from the wilderness, and they provide their animals with shelter, love, safety, a home. April marks 45 years since Leo rescued Delta. Delta Rescue relies solely on contributions to keep going. If you would like caring for these animals to be part of your legacy, speak with your estate planner because there are tax benefits here too. You can grow your estate while letting your love for animals live well into the future. Check out the estate planning tab on their website to learn more and speak with your advisor. We call dog a man's best friend for a reason. You can help those who need it most. Visit deltarescue.org today to learn more. deltarescue.org. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.